Well, there's just a few more shows to go until spring break for us here at the broadcast team, but today I thought we'd come to you for the campus ministry segment from our beautiful BT Chapel, and I'm joined by our chaplain, Father Evan, as we're going to talk about Holy Week, the holiest week in the church, of course, and explain some of the symbolism behind it. Father Evan.
Yeah, so Holy Week is one of the most beautiful moments in the entire church. And it's the pinnacle of the Triduum, which is Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday, which culminates with the Easter Vigil. And these three liturgies are one continuous worship moment. So on Holy Thursday, you have the beginning of the Mass where you are celebrating the institution of the priesthood and the institution of the Eucharist, the very thing that Jesus gave us before he endured his passion. And so on this day, at Holy Thursday, you have a beautiful Mass that ends with a Eucharistic procession. And this procession ends at what's called the altar of repose, which is like going with Jesus into the Garden of Gethsemane, the night before he was to be betrayed. And so the church prays very particularly that night, and it generally ends at midnight, where the Lord is, and the Eucharist is locked away, much as if he was taken prisoner. And then that brings us to Good Friday. And on Good Friday, Jesus himself was crucified. And so you'll know, or you might feel a sense of just solemnness on Good Friday. Part of it is, it's the only day in the entire world where there's never a Mass celebrated. It's the one place, the one time where Jesus has actually gone away. And so in the church, we have a service that night, which is the reverencing of a cross. The reverencing of the very tool that was once used for our downfall, that has since become our tool of salvation. And so this service is a reverencing of the cross, and then it brings us into the holy time of the Easter Vigil, which is the highest point in the church. And it's a time where candidates are brought into the church. It's a time where we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus in the most profound way the church can offer. And it starts off with this prayer called the Exsultet, which, if you've ever heard of that, or you've never seen it or listened to it, I encourage you to look it up, because it possesses some of the most beautiful prayers as it walks through all of salvation history of everything that Jesus came to do.
And the Easter Vigil, of course, kicking off the Easter season, concluding the fast of Lent and beginning that feast. Now, plenary indulgence can be gained, if you want to briefly explain what a plenary indulgence is.
So an indulgence, plenary indulgence, is something that can be used, there's three levels of the church militant, the church triumphant, and the church suffering. And the idea is an indulgence is a way for the church to unlock grace for a soul that needs it. So you can either offer it for yourself, or you can offer it for a soul in purgatory. And what it is you meet certain conditions, the Easter Triduum being one of them, in this case, is it's a complete remittance of punishment due to sin. And the idea is the church has the ability to forego punishment that's due to us for things that we've done. And so the church unseals that grace for her people.
And that very special indulgence can be gained specifically on Holy Thursday of all nights by taking part in that Eucharistic procession. So while it's not a holy day of obligation, we do, of course, encourage you to take part in that. Father Evan, thank you so very much. Do check out where the Triduum services and Masses are taking place at your church, either on your parish's website or at the Archdiocese website. We'll head back to the studio.
Good job.